Did you know that St. Luke's University Health Network, based in the Lehigh Valley, Pennsylvania, has been recognized by the U.S. government as the highest performing health system in the United States for quality? You heard right. St. Luke's #1 recognition affirms our status as the top leader among the most respected healthcare providers in the nation, including Houston Methodist and the Mayo Clinic. To state it simply, if you want to receive the best care when you go to a hospital, come to St. Luke's.
Talking about horses, nobody knows more about him, I don't think, than Wyatt. He was raised on them. And Wyatt Imus now shows horses. He takes them all over the country. I know Bo Dietl has already invested, many others. And, in fact, Bo's horse, I believe, won recently, which is pretty good. So Bo's already collected, I should say, on this investment. And when Wyatt was a little kid, his late father, Don, who we know very well, this was his dream. He thought one day that they can show horses all over the country and all over the world and make money doing it. And Don, of course, passed away before the dream was realized. But it's happening. And it's happening because of the hard work of his little boy, who's now a big boy. Wyatt, welcome back to Sid and Friends in the Morning, brother. How are you?
Good morning. Thank you for having me back.
Tell me about these, before you get the conversation going. My business guy, John Terrett, did this story this morning. I thought he was kidding, but he wasn't. What is going on with these screw worms? You guys nervous about that in Texas?
Well, I'll tell you what it's done more than anything is all these events we have, these roping events and futurities for young horses and rodeos and everything, they require cattle because you have to have something to rope. And the best cattle all these years that we've roped came from Mexico. They were Mexican Corriente cattle native to Mexico. Well, when this screwworm outbreak came about a couple of years ago now, they shut the border down to all livestock. So no cattle can cross. So what it's done more than anything is it's driven the price of cattle that are native to the states up astronomically. So people buying cattle and steers for all these big events, they're having to give double the money what they had to give a few years ago.
So
there's a lot of guys down there on the border who they cross cattle as a primary source of income. It's a huge market. A good friend of mine is Martine Wall. He actually, when Trump went down during his first term and did like that YouTube documentary, like the Border Wars, he interviewed. He didn't. He had somebody interview my great friend Martine Wall, and Martine talked about all the issues that were going on with all the illegals crossing, and then the screwworm outbreak and everything else, and how it affected his business and his ranch. And Martine, he was doing so well. He owns an Amish ranch horse, so it's a huge market for a lot of people, and it's affecting the industry here with cattle greatly.
Wow, how about that? See, it's interesting that they wouldn't let the cattle across, but the terrorists are okay.
Yeah, they'll let people across with bombs, but not cattle.
Right. Rapists and murderers and terrorists, you can come, but not the cattle. So it really does make a difference down there. So again, I just mentioned the fact that Bo Dietl has already collected on his investment. I put the word out there to a bunch of other folks, including Vinny Viola, who owns a horse, Golden Temple, that won the Kentucky Derby. And I know this thing is kind of just getting started. Been a couple of years, Wyatt, but hasn't really hit the popularity you think it's going to hit. So where are you exactly? What stage are you in this show horse field?
Well, it's building so much, like it hasn't hit the popularity yet just because, I think Yellowstone helped it a lot, but they're starting to pay out big money. So like, for example, the horse that won the Preakness, right? He wins $1.2 million. Well, we got a big event coming up here called the Old West Horse Show in Heber City, Utah, and that's going to pay out $1.7 million.
Wow!
To the winner. So you can have a Preakness horse, that runs in the Preakness and wins it, and you win $1.2 million. Or you can get a horse that's a rope horse in the Western performance horse industry, and you can win $1.7 million. And it won't cost you probably nearly as much to get into it. I don't know if you saw or not, but a few weeks ago, or I guess it's been a little over a month ago now, one of Bob Baffert, the great Bob Baffert, one of the legendary thoroughbred horse trainers, one of his guys gave $10.5 million for a 2-year-old. at the big sale down there, the thoroughbred horse. So, I mean, that horse could win the Derby, the Preakness, and the Belmont, win the Triple Crown, and he wouldn't win enough to cover what he cost. So
That's right.
I think the economics of what we're doing is really cool. And again, I mean, the Western way of life to some people is great. I mean, you saw how Yellowstone took off. So there's a lot of upsides, and I think the trajectory is just on its way up.
Still, because, Yellowstone, look, I got into it a couple of years ago. My wife, Danielle, my beautiful wife, and I, we watched, we loved it, because I like the daughter a lot. I like her. She's funny. And she's tough. She'll kick anybody's ass. But like I told you last time you were on, my interest pretty much went away when Kevin Costner was off the show. I know it's still on, I guess, and it still has decent viewership, but it can't be the same since Kevin left. So is it still that whole Western culture, that whole cowboy thing? Is it still popular, or did it lose some of it with the last couple of years?
I think the Yellowstone show lost viewership, obviously, and then they ended it, of course, last year. But the people that got in as a result of Yellowstone, they got into the horses and the Western culture and all that stuff, and then they realized there was something here. So, just because Kevin Costner wasn't on anymore, he might have been what got him in that show. But once they got here and realized all the opportunities and the way of life and how cool it can be to be a part of it, I mean, there's people who stayed. I mean, look at Bo. Bo's in now. His horse is doing great. I have another guy that came from thoroughbred horse racing. He has a horse. He's doing great. Just people from all walks of life coming in and loving it and enjoying it and watching it take off. So, I mean, Taylor Sheridan in Yellowstone helped tremendously because he was able to have a really far reach and bring people in. But I mean, once people are in, it's fun and they stay in and really enjoy it.
They love it. So I'm interested, you as a little boy had both, right? I mean, your dad had the cowboy hat, had the gun, which he did pull on me more than once. He had the whole thing going on. But you also spent time in New York City, right? You had a house in Westport, Connecticut. You had the apartment in Central Park. So he was kind of both, right? He was kind of like a cowboy in New York City. And I know you've taken on this life and you love it. And your mom, Deirdre, I speak to every now and then. She's so proud of you. But is there a part of you, Wyatt, that wants to be New York City? Or are you 1,000% content with the cowboy lifestyle?
Well, I think that's what makes my situation so unique is I was born in New York Hospital. So, I mean, part of me, I was raised there my whole life. Obviously, my dad was on this very station we're talking on right now for years. And, so, I mean, I am a huge part of me is New York. And, I mean, I don't feel like if I didn't have any New York left in me, I'd be able to, have a good conversation with you a couple of weeks ago or now. So I always want to keep those roots and be connected to those people. And, it was such a wonderful childhood. And obviously, my dad did it for years and, gave you the roadmap for what you're doing.
No, he did. Listen, I give your father a whole bunch of credit, despite what Rob Baldwin and others tell your mother, okay? or the rest of these guys. I'm always saying the person that had the most influence on me, and it's not even close. Look, I was around Mike and the Mad Dog, and I even worked with Howard Stern a little bit, and other great people. Not even close. Your father, far and away, had the biggest influence on me, and I'm happy to say that. But I always say this about your dad. So you're a New York guy. But the one thing about your father was, for some reason, he never liked the New York teams. Never. He wasn't really a Jet fan. He wasn't really a Giant fan. He wasn't really a Met or a Yankee fan. He did boast about partying with the Islanders once with the Stanley Cup. But he was funny because whoever won that day, that was who your father liked. Like, he liked the Patriots when they were winning Super Bowls. He liked the Lakers when they were winning championships. Right? Right?
Well, yeah, look, he liked a winner, right? Everybody likes a winner.
Right.
Like Ricky Bobby in Talladega Nights says, you got to win to get love.
That's right.
So here's the deal. Yes, we were New England Patriots fans, and they happened to have won 6 Super Bowls in the time we were fans.
Right.
But he was a fan when they had Drew Bledsoe limping out there going 5-11.
Good job.
And then I was a fan when we were losing every game with Mac Jones.
Yeah. Really?
So, yeah.
You stuck with him?
I love the Patriots. I think our coach needs to calm down and quit booking cruises with women who are 7 months pregnant.
Hold on a second. Wyatt, let me remind you that the coach that won you your 6 Super Bowls, he's banging a 23-year-old, Wyatt.
Well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I can't defend that very much. But hey, he's a winner, and she likes winners.
Right.
She looks past the age.
Yeah, no question. It's funny because Mike Vrabel is getting such hell in Boston, but Belichick, because he won 6 Super Bowls with this girlfriend who's not only young, but not very bright. He can do whatever he wants. Coaches in North Carolina, it's all good. So you still follow all those sports teams, even though you spend a lot of your days and nights with the horses on the stable, all that. You're still a pretty rabid sports fan?
I am. I enjoy the Patriots. I follow them every year. Obviously, watch the Super Bowl. I still follow the New York teams. They have so many connections. The Jets are really hard to follow. I don't think they haven't won anything since Namath, and
right.
I think Namath was older than my dad, which I didn't even know if that was possible. My dad used to say he's so old he watched Moses part the sea.
I remember he used to say that. Yes,
but
yeah.
I like the Giants. I like that they got Harbaugh now, and I'm a big fan of Jackson Dart. I like his.
He's
style.
cool. Yeah, he's
a
cool.
Kid. But,
he's doing some cowboy stuff too. Just so you know, he's got that Mississippi look going for him. What do you? I think I've asked you this last time, but I'm not sure. If I did, it's worth asking again. What do you miss most about your father?
Well, he was my best friend, and whether your best friend's your father, your brother, or just somebody you met in life, losing them is incredibly challenging, and I just miss having that person to talk to no matter what. But I'll tell you something about him that really not a lot of people know. I saw the other night you went to the Mets game with Mr. Cohen and Bill O'Reilly.
That's right.
So I don't know if you remember. Well, O'Reilly has his show now, right? Doesn't he call one of his shows We'll Do It Live?
That is his brand new podcast, which I guessed it on 2 weeks ago, yes.
Well, I'm glad he can kind of make fun of himself a little bit. But I'll tell you what's great. So years ago, you have to have seen, when he was on doing Inside Edition, he had that famous off-air meltdown where, he's screaming, F it, we'll do it live, and, he's throwing papers around. It was fantastic.
By the way, that's a good job out of you because most people think he did that on The Factor on Fox News. They're wrong. You're right. Inside Edition. Very good.
Inside Edition in the 90s. Then it came out much later in like 08 or 09, which around 07, 08. Dad had a little time at home. He wasn't working for a little bit, but anyway. So we used to watch the O'Reilly Factor at 8 o'clock on Fox, and then it would roll into Hannity, and we'd watch Hannity, and I still talk to Hannity to this day. I like Mr. Hannity.
Me too. Good guy.
Well, part of our it became a ritual in the Imus household. Around 7:45, we would go on YouTube and we'd watch O'Reilly's meltdown. And we'd be screaming, laughing, and then right about time we got done watching it, we'd roll in and watch the O'Reilly Factor.
Oh, that's funny. That was a nightly tradition for you guys?
About once a week. Every night it gets to be a little much, but we'd do it about once a week, normally on Fridays.
Sure.
Me and my dad go in there in the little living room, and we'd watch O'Reilly freak out, and then we'd watch the O'Reilly Factor.
Yeah, I mean, you do realize that for anybody who thought that your household must have been crazy, that you just exponentially move that up the list. I mean, sounds like a crazy house.
And the best part about it is when Family Guy, the animated show for adults, they did a recreation of it with Stewie, and they had Stewie play O'Reilly. So we got to the point in the Imus household where we'd switch back and forth. 1 week we'd watch the real thing, and then 1 week we'd watch the Family Guy version right before we'd watch the Factor.
I got to play this for Bill. He's on every Thursday. He's going to love this. It's actually funny. That's cute. And you guys had a good time with that. That's good. Bill's going to appreciate that. Trust me. Stewie and the actual audio from Inside Edition and the Imus household before Bill, 8 o'clock weeknights on Fox News. So before that you run here, Wyatt, I do want you to give out all the information to folks out there who like Bo Dietl, may be interested in investing in what seems to be a pretty good deal here. You don't have to invest a lot of money, but you can win a lot of money and have a real good time at it, too. So what do they got to do to make it happen?
You can have a great time. You can win a lot. Uncle Bo, as we affectionately call him, is having a great time. You can reach out to me. I know I gave it wasn't my personal number, but I gave a number out a few weeks ago. It's 832-992-4687, which, by the way, 4687 spells Imus. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah. Well, I didn't think it spelled Stern.
No, it absolutely doesn't. And then you can go to Instagram, Facebook, go to Imus Ranch, at Imus Ranch, to inquire or check it out or see what's going on. But yeah, Bo's having a great time. He's doing really great. We need to maybe get O'Reilly into one. We'll call it we'll do it live.
I love that. We'll do it live. The Do It Live horse. Are you getting married this weekend?
I'm getting married in October.
Oh, October. Why did I think it was coming up before that? I don't know. Okay.
I don't know.
Well, you're engaged, and Jordan, right?
Jordan Meek, my lovely fiance. Yeah, we're getting married October 16th.
All right. Lewis and I will be there, so. Lewis loves to sing at weddings. He does a really good Otis Day in the Nights, just so you know.
Well, you'll be looking for that invitation in the mail.
Wyatt, every now and then you talk to me and I feel like I'm talking to your father, which is not a bad thing. We'll do this again very, very soon. You're terrific. Folks, get involved with Wyatt. He's having a great time. He's making people money, including Bo Dietl. And go help out the Imus Ranch. Wyatt Imus, excellent job, buddy. We'll catch up again very soon.
Get ready, Staten Island. It's time to celebrate 5 years of Very Hawks baseball.
Tuesday, May 19th at 10:30 a.m., it's morning baseball. Wednesday, May 20th at 6:30 p.m., have a pawsome time at Bark in the Park. Thursday, May 21st at 6:30, it's Pride Night with $5 Bud or Bud Light draft beer. Individual game tickets start at just $12.
Visit VeryHawks.com now to lock in your seats.